The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected international calls for a ceasefire with Hezbollah, saying his country's military will keep hitting the Lebanese armed group with full force. The US, France and other Western allies have come up with a proposal for a 21-day break in hostilities. Airstrikes have continued in Lebanon, with Israel saying it's hit dozens of Hezbollah targets. Israel says the head of Hezbollah's drone unit was killed in a strike in one of Beirut's southern suburbs. Lebanon's health ministry says Israeli strikes have killed at least 28 people, across the country on Thursday. Israel says at least 45 rockets were fired from Lebanese territory. Hezbollah says it's fired 80 missiles at northern Israel, targeting the city of Safed. The Israeli foreign minister said there'll be no ceasefire until victory over Hezbollah and a ground invasion remains a distinct possibility. The Iran-backed militant group says it's acting in solidarity with Palestinians. Israel says Hezbollah must be removed so displaced Israelis can return back to the north of the country, from where our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams reports.
After a lull of several hours, Hezbollah rockets started arriving around the middle of the day. Many landing harmlessly in the sea. But for Israelis in nearby Nahariya, this was evidence that a ceasefire is not yet on the cards. Not that they appear to want one.
We must finish with this. To kill them, to stop them, to do something. But not stop the war. No.
For the past 11 months, it felt like we've been abandoned. And now, well, personally, I'm happy that the government has started to do something in Lebanon.
Israelis just want the rockets to stop. At the scene of a recent attack on the outskirts of Haifa, Israel's foreign minister scoffed at the idea that his country's assault on Hezbollah would stop now. There won't be a ceasefire, he said. We're going to win in order to change this reality. Israel is still signaling its willingness to escalate further, releasing these pictures of troops exercising near the Lebanese border. No word yet on when or even if a ground operation will begin. We've spent the last 3 days in the north, occasional glimpses of what could be preparations, but nothing yet that looks massive or imminent.
The two Lebanese villages you can see on the ridge behind me, Yaroun and Maroun Aras, are both Hezbollah strongholds. Both have been heavily bombed in the past couple of weeks. They're the kind of places Israel's top general has in mind when he warns that Israeli troops could soon be on the ground inside southern Lebanon.
Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in New York. He'll be taking his case to the UN General Assembly. We're continuing to strike Hezbollah with full force, he said. We won't stop until we reach all our goals. Washington says a diplomatic solution is still viable, but is that what Israel's Prime Minister wants? Paul Adams, BBC News, Northern Israel.